Hello, what's up? Today on Humphrey's YouTube channel, we are going to be doing some cooking in the snow. This seems to be a common theme on this page. For whatever reason, we do our best cooking when it's cold out, and so we're going to continue that theme. So today we're going to be doing a couple pork butts and on our Humphrey's Pint. So as you can see, right back there, we have our Humphrey's Pint outfitted with round bar handles and a thermo plug up front. The gloss black doesn't it look so pretty? All right, so we have an 11 pounder and a 9 pounder here, and we're going to be seasoning and rubbing with some of my favorite Humphrey's rubs. So I'm going to be using half and half sapsucker and Jive and Hive. So these two are kind of my tried and true when it comes to pork products, doing a 50-50 on them. It's a people pleaser. Everyone always loves it. The flavor combinations just work so well together. This is something I do quite often. So it's tested, it works, people approved. So that's what we're going to be doing today. So some of the best advice I was ever given on like when you're putting rub on meats was to not go light on it. And also you want to make sure you get in all the little nooks and crannies, really get in, make sure you season everything in there, really make sure it's everywhere. All right, now we gotta make sure we do all the sides. Now the fun part, balancing pork butts, while also rubbing. So today we are cooking in the Humphrey's full-size lift kits. So these lift kits are super, super handy and one of my favorite ways to cook pulled pork. If you're cooking in pans, instead of having the bottom of your pork butt touch the pan, you get complete air circulation all the way around the pork butt or the piece of meat or whatever you might be cooking on the lift kit. These are available in full size and half size right on the Humphrey's website. But today we're using the full size pans. Probably could get away with a half size for that guy, but this 11 pounder, no. So, super easy. One of my favorite features is these handles we have on the side. Even if you're not cooking in pans, I still like to cook on the lift kits just so you have an easy transportation method for your pork butt. It's a lot easier than just muckling a hold of this and trying to move it somewhere. A lot less likely to drop it this way. So, lift it up, put it right in the pan. All right, and now we have pork butts on lift kits, so better air circulation, better cooking all the way around in pans, and they're gonna go in the smoker. All right, so we've been warming our smoker up for a little bit now. Now we're just gonna slide these right in. Whoopsies. Gonna adjust my rack size. All right, so now that we have our pork butts in the Humphrey's Pint, there's a couple things I wanted to go over about how we're cooking today, why we're cooking today. So first of all, you probably saw I put my pork butts fat side down. So I'm doing that, because I have that good air circulation. I want a really good bark on those pork butts. So that's why we're cooking fat side down or fat cap down today. Second of all, in that last video, you probably saw that I had to quickly adjust those racks on the Humphrey's Pint, and luckily the Humphrey's Pint has 2.5 inches in between each rack slide. So I had the availability and the flexibility, once I saw that that pork butt was going to hit the top rack, to just pull those rack slides out, readjust them, and then I had plenty of room to put that pan right back in. So that is the ease and the flexibility of the Humphrey smokers, which is fantastic. And we're also cooking hot and fast today because we're working on a little bit of a time crunch, but hot and fast means we're running about 300 degrees today, or we're using our Humphrey's Flame Boss over there, and it's set to 300, and so we'll check in with some periodic updates as we're cooking so you can see the progress of those pork butts, and then next time you'll get a full clip. We'll be wrapping those in foil. Alright, welcome back to the video. So, as I promised earlier, the next time you'd get a full video from us is when we're getting ready to wrap our pork butts, and that's exactly what we're getting ready to do now. So, one of the super cool things that Nicole has taught me to do with tinfoil is how to make tinfoil more watertight, I guess. So what we're gonna start to do is kind of make a boat. So when we wrap our pork butts, I don't want there to be liquid dripping everywhere after I wrap them. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna marry together 2 pieces of tinfoil to make like a larger piece of tinfoil that you're not gonna get stuff everywhere with. So what we're gonna do here is I already have my piece of tinfoil like cut off to size 1 and 2. So we're gonna lay them together, and then without giving ourselves like an aluminum paper cut or aluminum foil cut, we're gonna bend those forward. And then we're gonna bend that again. Flatten that out. And then we open it up. and there's still a seam here, but obviously since it's been folded together, the liquid has to work a little bit more together. So this is the ideal setup for wrapping our pork butts. Let's go grab them. All right. Look at those, the nice color it has on there. Wow. Oh, fogged up a little bit. All right, let's start with the smaller guy down here first. Take our meat probe out of there. Look at that. Wow. That's a nice pork butt. The Jive and Hive and the Sapsucker make such a great color combination on these. It's kind of crazy. So, all right, grab this pork butt, put it in there, and as you can see, since we use the lift kit, you can have all these nice juices in the bottom there, which some people like to use to make a couple different products, whether that's, I've used the lift kits to cook chicken before and make gravy with them. That was good. All right. Now, we get to wrap up our pork butts. All right. Now, it might not be the prettiest wrapping job, but it's not the looks that count. And another pro tip straight from Humphrey's is when you go to put this back in your smoker, you don't want to set it directly on the cooking rack. So say if you're like me and you had that pork butt sitting directly on the rack, that can, obviously you're getting the juices and everything and the rub and everything right on those racks. So if you set the tinfoil directly on there, it can stick to that rack. And obviously you don't want to rip your tinfoil. We just spent all that time making that nice little boat of tinfoil to wrap your pork butt. So we're going to make a little pad or little lily pad to set in on that rack, just so that does not stick directly to your cooking rack and tinfoil. Okay, and for this cook, we're going to be putting this pork butt back in, fat cap down, as we put it in the first time. Normally this would be the spot in the cook where you wrap, where you could flip that, so if you wanted your fat cap on the top, but I don't want my bark, because I have that great looking bark going on this pork butt, I don't want my bark to get wet, so we are choosing today to keep the fat cap down. But let's fold our lily pad and we will put that right back in that smoker. So it doesn't need to be anything crazy. We're just making a nice little landing spot to put that back in so it doesn't stick on the rack. All right, now we can put that back in. And another thing to note while we're switching everything around in here, I put that 11 pounder up top because that one is quite a bit bigger than the 9 pounder we have. So we're going to continue to put the smaller one in on the bottom, and we're going to continue to have that bigger one up top for the remainder of the cook. So we tend to wrap at 160. That's what we got to on this smaller guy. So that's why we wrap this one, and it just sits in there on its lily pad all nice and safe. And now it goes back in. All right, and next up we're gonna wrap the 11 pounder. while we're kind of at the like halftime of our pork butt cook, now's where some people would like to put some braises or some marinades or some different maybe sauce or other items in with their pork butts. Today we're keeping it pretty simple, so we're not doing that, but you absolutely could do that. Now's a very good time, especially if you're wrapping, to go ahead and split that up while you already have your doors open and all of that, to add your sauces, marinades, rubs, anything else you want. So now we're fixing up that other lily pad to add back into the smoker. So like I said earlier, we're putting the big guy back up top since he is a little fattier, a little more meat to cook. So put this big guy back in here. All right, and back in it goes. So now we'll leave our pork butts in there to cook, get right back up to temp, and we will check back in. We're getting ready to take them out. And welcome back to Humphrey's Pork Butts. So we are now getting ready to pull our pork butts after wrapping them. They are now at a nice and toasty, around 200 degrees, both of them. That actually worked out very well. Both of them came up to around the same temp at the same time, which is awesome. So let's grab those out of the smoker and we'll take a look. Look at those. Aren't they pretty? Grab our temperature probe out of there. There we go. All right, let's take a look. Ooh, look at that. That looks fantastic. That looks so tender. Look at all the juices in the bottom there. That's going to make some fantastic pulled pork. The color on that, it maintained its bark. I'm very, very excited. Oh, all right. So, hopefully you guys enjoyed this semi-instructional video. I should probably close the smoker while we're at it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this semi-instructional video on how we do some hot and fast pork butts. These are going to make some really, really good pulled pork. The flavor profile on them is going to be awesome. I'm super excited, especially paired with my favorite awesome sauce. So yeah, we are super excited and looking forward to doing a couple more videos like this. Hopefully maybe the weather cooperates a bit more next time. But yeah, let us know what you guys want to see next. Make sure you like and subscribe. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok at Humphrey's Barbecue, and also sign up for our email list, and we will be doing some fun stuff on there shortly. Thanks for watching, guys.